This Three Beards Media podcast may contain mature themes, and if you're not down with that, we got 3 words for you. Like the podcast. Nailed it!
Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Like Father, Like Daughter, brought to you, of course, by Revelton Distilling Company and Kyle Lehman at Wintrust Mortgage. We are on episode 11, which means that we've done now 22 weeks of this, and somehow people aren't tired of it, which is actually kind of shocking because, frankly, I get bored with Caitlin that much, so I'm not sure why nobody else is. Hi, Caitlin. How are you?
Hi, Dad. I am exhausted.
Exhausted.
I'm tired.
Listen, I don't want to hear it. Yesterday I did something last night that I have not done in a very, very long time. So the last 2 weekends has been football in Ames. We've been in Ames. We've been tailgating, and I've been really wanting to watch Colorado play because they have Deion Sanders, and it's this whole phenomenon that's going on. And their game started at 9:00 last night. So Mom and I, we had friends over for the Iowa State game, and then we kind of chilled out for the afternoon. And then we went to Oktoberfest last night for about 4 hours and had a couple beers and walked around and listened to music. It was fun. And then we got home, and the Colorado game was at 9:00. So I settle in the basement down here. I'm all ready to go. And game doesn't start till 9:20. And I'm like, I'm usually ready for bed by now. Like it's pretty bad. Joel says, "Good evening. How you doing, Joel?" Thanks for dropping in. So anyways, I'm struggling. Like by halftime, I can barely keep my eyes open. It's probably 11:00. I'm never up that late. And I'm starting to just feel like I'm starting to get a headache, right? So,
Yeah.
So then I end up going upstairs, laying on a couch upstairs, and I dozed off and on throughout that entire game. And at one point, it was like the middle of the fourth quarter. It was maybe 12:15. And I would lay there and I'd hear something on the game, and and my eyes were closed, and I literally did not have the strength to open my eyes. I had to reach up and like pull my eyes open because I was so tired. And then I woke up and it was going into overtime. Like Colorado had just scored to tie it up, and I'm like, oh my God, it's going into overtime. It's like 1:00 in the morning. Why am I still up? And Josh came down like 2 or 3 times, shocked that I was still up. Now I'm getting a bad headache. I fell asleep during the whole overtime. I woke up to Colorado celebrating. I was so pissed. And it was like 1:30 in the morning. So I go upstairs.
You should have DVR'd it, man.
No, because I mean everything all over social media would have told me who won.
Yeah, the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning is check out social media.
No, I get notifications on my phone.
Well, then turn the notification off.
Like don't bother me with details. Don't ruin a good story with.
So you weren't really up till 1:30. You took cat naps till 1:30.
I did, yeah. But then I woke up. I had a massive headache. It's the worst headache I've had in I don't know how long. And I clearly cannot be staying up that late. I had a headache all through Mass today. Took some leave. Then we had to serve coffee and donuts. It was a rough morning. And believe it or not, it got worse because the Bears lost again today. So it is what it is.
Man,
but we're supposed to be
can't hang.
I can't hang. It's ridiculous. There's no way.
Can't hang, man. I'm up till 1:30 regularly on the weekends.
You are not.
I am. I might be in bed by 9:00, but I'm usually up watching something pretty late. Especially if I get into a good movie. Friday night, I started watching The Intern with Anne Hathaway and Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
and it
Pretty
was
good.
so good. It was like a
That's good.
longer movie. I think it was around 2 hours. So I was up later than I was, expecting to because I had somewhere to be on Saturday morning. But
Yeah.
yeah, not too shabby.
So
And did I tell you I put my tailgate skills to use this weekend, even though there was no tailgate?
no.
So Walker's mom, Terrell, she hand makes, not hand make, well, she hand cuts copper and then uses like enamel powder, sprinkles it on the copper and fires it in the kiln 5 or 7 times to get like
Yeah.
different color combinations. And she makes enamel jewelry, and she was doing an art show. And here's an example. I actually just have a pair. These are a pair that she paid
that's
me
cool.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're very, very cute. I love them. Anyway, she was doing an art show and we unloaded her car and she's like, I gotta go park. I said, don't worry, I'll get the tent up. She's like, girl, that tent takes 2 people. And I said, girl, if my dad and I can unpack and get everything set up in less than 30 minutes, I got this, right?
Right.
And then when we have Walker and Tim, we're like a seam lined, right?
Right.
Like we've got it down to a
We can
T.
get the tents up and the tables up in 10 minutes.
Yeah. So
Easy.
the tent, it's the same canopy. It's a little bit thicker. It's like a commercial one.
Right.
So it was a little bit heavier. So I'm going
Kinda
around
like
the edges.
one that we have.
Yeah, I'm going to like the edges and trying to pull them out individually. I'm like, that's not working. So I duck under the tent and just push up the middle, and that makes them all spread out. And then I start walking, like balancing it. I'm walking on my tippy toes as I'm walking the tent over to where I want it to be. And I go over and put up every individual leg. Terrell's still not back yet. So I get the tables out. I set the tables out, find the tablecloths. She comes rolling up on a golf cart because they had a golf cart to take people who had to park so far away back. And she's like, dang. She's like, wow. She's like, dang, Caitlin. She's like, you got so much done. And I was like, listen, tailgating. And then for teardown, right? Like, let's get this snappy. Yep. Let's. So I'm tearing down and she gets back and we're loading things into the car and we're driving back to their house. And she's like, oh, did we grab the money box? I said, I know the money box is in the car because I did a tailgate lot check to make sure that we left it better than how we found it. And she goes, girl, this is why I love you. It's like a tailgate check.
Hey, you got to put skills together, man. There's nothing wrong with it.
Listen, who knew that tailgating would be such a great skill?
I did.
That's why you taught me.
I know, right? Best thing that's happened since the last episode. That's how we normally start our episodes, but I think it's probably the same for both of us. Grandma has moved back to Des Moines. So for those of you guys that are wondering, Mom made the decision that she wanted to move back to Des Moines. Shout out to my sister Dee, who did an amazing job taking care of Mom. She's eating now and things like that. I mean, both my sisters, Jackie did a wonderful job as well. I'm not trying to shortchange anybody. But, Dee did have some challenges with Marilyn being there and Mom having the transition as far as being so far away. And Dee stopped working. So, just.
I think it was a really good move for everyone. Yeah. It was. I mean, and that's I think Grandma was ready for a little bit of that independence and freedom. And I feel like no matter how amazing the people you are with, your roommates, whether they're your roommates or you're a guest in their house, no matter how amazing those people are, there is that urge to be able to have just a little bit of freedom by living alone. So, yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Mom moved into the Rose of Des Moines, which is an assisted living facility in the middle of Des Moines. So if she would love to get cards and letters and things like that. So if you want to send Mom anything, go ahead and send me a message and I'll shoot you her address. And if you're in Des Moines and you're driving through and you want to see Mom, I'm sure she would love to see you as well. But I got to tell you, we moved her in on Friday. Rudy and I moved her in on Friday. And then Stacy came after working all day and you came after working all day. And that's really hard. You guys worked all day long and then still came and helped. So, but Mom had a couple chairs, her bed, and things like that. I went over there a couple days later to take her to the store. She had a lot of it unpacked. She had it looking fairly nice. You took a couch over there from Jackie's on Sunday. I think Jackie took her a microwave and a few other things. And then
I went and saw her this past Thursday, dropped off a nightstand. And,
and I busted her about moving her bed. That's the third time that bed's been moved.
You didn't tell her it was me though, right?
I did. I totally threw you under the bus.
No.
Yeah, because as soon as I walked in, I said, "Hey, Caitlin told me that you moved your bed."
No, you didn't.
Why wouldn't I tell her that?
Because I was telling you that information so that you, as her son, could go in there and have a conversation with her about it. Not for you to try to ruin my relationship, her relationship with me.
I did not tell her anything. You just ratted yourself out when you said on this entire podcast, you just ratted yourself out and said, you didn't tell her I told you, did you? So
Grandma doesn't watch this podcast.
That doesn't matter. You just ratted yourself out.
Listen, all I care.
Totally pulled a Melvin on you, by the way.
All I care about is that Grandma still can tell me things, but it's just like when somebody tells me a secret that I should probably tell somebody else about, but I don't want that original person finding out I told them the secret because I want to stay on their good side.
Translation: don't tell Caitlin any secrets.
I'm really good at keeping secrets.
So, anyways.
No, I'm not. No, I'm kidding.
It looks amazing in there.
It does.
She was talking about how she baked cookies and she was making snacks and she made some crackers and she did this. And, the food was so good. The food's so good and everybody's so nice. It just made my heart so happy to hear her talk about how much she loved it. And I said, Mom, you really like just kind of having your own home again, don't you? And she goes, oh, I do. And it just made me so happy to hear that. And I know it's still a struggle. Like last night, she lost her vape and she couldn't find her vape. Somehow she figured it out. And she calls a lot. And I know that that's rough for people when she calls during the day a lot. But I'm hoping that as she meets more and more people there, she'll be less likely to call us just because she's bored. I did. At one point, she said something like, well, I'm just really bored. And I said, Mom, they have a whole fucking list of activities there. Like they have a shit ton of stuff for you to do. And she's like, I don't want to do any of that stuff. Okay. So then you're not really bored. You're just grouchy and you don't want to do anything. I said, from now on, we're having a no complaint zone in my car. And when you call me,
you know what she really wants? She wants a sewing machine, but not one of the automatic ones where it like will just go if she presses down the foot pedal, but something she manually has to rotate so that but she's like, I think that would be so cool. I think she just needs a hobby.
Right. Yeah.
So,
and she could buy some fabric. Yep.
Yeah. Some type of sewing. Yeah.
Jackie said she called 4 times today. I know. And the other thing was, there was something else I was going to say and I can't remember what it was about, I lost it. It doesn't matter. Anyways, Mom's having she's doing really good. She is, and I'm happy about that. And that's super.
Did you help her hang her pictures up? She had all her pictures.
She already did? Yeah, she had stuff hung up. It was, she was good to go.
Because when I got there on Thursday, she had all the pictures that we had taken for her birthday of you and your sisters. Yeah. She had them all laid out and like measured exactly how she wanted them on the wall.
Yeah. Yeah. She has them in the living room now. They were in her bedroom.
Yeah, they were in the living room on Thursday on the floor. So I was wondering if she had gotten them hung up.
So.
Good.
They're on the wall now. So, yep. So it's good to go. So you got a few more things we got to do and get ready. I'm working on, Jackie said she did it, bought her 14 frames at Dollar Tree, and she said she needs more. I know she needs a lot. She says she needs a lot. She doesn't. So, and I'm the big meanie because I'm like, I'm not taking you to the thrift store. Like, I don't like Goodwill and I don't like garage sales. So we're not
You
going.
do like Goodwill and you do like garage sales.
Yeah, but lying so that she doesn't spend a bunch of extra money is not really a sin. It's the same thing I used to do to you when you were a kid and you wanted to do stuff and I'd be like, we can't afford it. That really wasn't the truth. I just didn't really want to do it.
Like dance?
Oh no, dance. No, I couldn't afford dance.
Oh, okay. I was like, that was the first time you spoke to me face to face in the car and you're like, honey, if it's something you really love, we can only do a little bit. We'll try to make it work, but it is pretty hard. And I'd be like, I don't like it. And I kind of didn't like it because all the girls were kind of snobby and they were skinnier than me.
Right.
And it gave me body issues from a young age that I'm still getting over.
Listen, that was expensive shit, man. That stuff was expensive. I don't know how people can
and it's
afford
not like they were always putting us in the cutesy dance outfits.
At that point, I was a single dad. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I had NFL Sunday ticket to pay for. I had some priorities.
Caitlin's dance lessons, NFL Sunday ticket. I maybe could have been more successful in my drama and show choir career.
You're right, because being the lead singer in show choir wasn't good enough.
Well, no, I could have been dancing in the front row instead of being back row Betty for 3 years.
I mean, if you would have been in the front row, then I would have worn my show choir dad shirt like somebody else. Sorry, I can't.
I think this is a great time to introduce our next sponsor.
That's right. We will get a word from Revelton Distilling Company, amazing whiskey, which I seriously wish that I had a lot of that when I was married the first time. So I'm sorry. I'm terrible at these transitions. Anyways, check out Revelton Distilling Company in 1400 West Clay Street in Osceola, Iowa, and you can pick those guys up at Fairway and Hy-Vee and any spirit store. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about our top fall traditions that we remember when Caitlin was little.
At Revelton Distilling Company, everyone has become a part of the Revelton family. From the Taylors and their daughter who helped perfect their award-winning gins, to the team who installed Lucy, our 33-foot-tall custom-made still, right down to the local farms that provide our coveted corn, and even the cows on those farms who consume our mash byproduct. Want to see the farm to flask come to life? Now you can tour Lucy and find out where we take Iowa's harvest and transform it into our finest spirits. Choose between a 45-minute tour or find out even more by scheduling a VIP behind-the-scenes tour to get the taste of the full Revelton experience. You can visit them at 1400 West Clay Street in Osceola, Iowa, or find all of Revelton's award-winning spirits at any local grocery or spirits retailer.
We are going to talk about fall traditions. Before we do that, part of fall was back to school. And it reminds me of anybody that has sat with their parents when their parents tried to help them with their homework can probably relate. I'm going to play this video. It is 100%, 1000% Mel.
Chris Shipley.
No, I was not like this. We'll play it and then we can have a discussion, but I was not like this. So, where is this? Here we go. Share. And here we go.
If Jimmy has 2 apples, listen, I'm not playing. 2 apples, and Emily gave him 2 more. Fix your face. 2 more. How many does Jimmy have?
5.
You must want your ass electrocuted.
My favorite, there's more sounds like that, and they go, put it on your fingers, put it on your fingers. Jimmy has 2 apples, and Susie gives him 2 more. How many you got? And the 5? I swear to
I'm telling you, my dad would get so mad when we would do division. He would get so angry about doing division and like long division and You'd have to carry the
Oh, I
one
love
above.
long division. Am I
Oh.
weird? I love long
Oh
division.
my God, he hated it. And I would never like
loved
draw the
it.
bracket. Like I would always, I would never do the bracket, and he would.
You would just use the line on the paper.
Yes, and he would get so mad. So I'm telling you, that was, yep. CJ knows division always. He would get so pissed. He would just stop helping. It's
You
probably
learned
helped my
division
grade.
when you were in school?
What?
It's a stupid question. I'm sorry.
Of course we did division. Did you just ask if we did division in school? No, we had no concept of how to divide things. Fractions were something that came up in 1990. You're so Jesus criminy. That's ridiculous.
Did you? Gosh. Okay.
All right.
I guess it's kind of weird to think about the things you learned in school. Because I'm like, oh yeah, he did at some point in his life learn this. Like he had to have. They didn't just come up with math in the 90s.
No, they did not.
Did you
No.
know Pythagorean theorem? I can't ever say it. I have never been able to say it. Wait, look up the word. Look, it's the a squared plus b squared equals c squared. It's the how you find the area of a right angle triangle.
What is it? What's it called?
A squared plus b squared plus c squared. Look up. It's the area to find a right triangle.
The Pythagorean.
No, you
Yeah.
put it on the screen. I need to see it.
Hold on.
So I can decode it. I can sound it out. Man, this is really taking a turn, but I gotta know.
If you can't say it, don't talk about it. That's
It's like Pythagorean theorem.
You are so
Yeah, Pythagorean theorem.
Right here.
I've
right here.
Yep.
You know what?
mhm.
Google.
I also remember the quadratic formula. You want to hear it?
No, hold on.
It's-
I'm looking up.
You're gonna look up how to say it.
I am. Text to speech. Is this it?
Oh my goodness, sir! Just go to Google Translate and
That's
do
what I
English
went
to
to.
English. No, you didn't. You went
Oh,
text to speech.
Google. Okay,
You just go to Google Translate
and choose English.
to English, and then write Pythagorean theorem.
Pythagorean.
Yeah, like Korean, because it says Orean, like in the
Yes.
word Korean. Yeah,
Can you
so
hear
it's
it?
Pythagorean.
Right. Did you hear it?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Well,
Everybody
what it
could
is.
just look it up. Anyway, the quadratic formula is x equals the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And I haven't used it since.
I don't even know.
Maybe if I was like an engineer.
What does that
I
mean?
went to an engineering college. So the letters is where you input the numbers when you're doing the quadratic formula or whatever. I don't remember. That's like pre-calc, dude. That's Miss Westfold's 11th grade pre-calc plus when everybody made fun of me. It's
Literally,
good.
people are hanging on this podcast. at this point.
people are like, we're done. And they're talking.
Yeah, we're
I
done.
was told there'd be
We're talking about fall traditions.
They were like, I was told there'd be no math. Yes, fall traditions. Number 3. What's number 3 for you?
I feel like we've done something similar to this a couple episodes ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say now probably. I really love the cool weather, and Mom pulled out all the fall stuff, so we got to decorate the house and all the fall stuff and things like that. So
Okay, so that's number 3 for you.
that's number 3 for me.
Number 3 is chili Sundays. You're lucky you even made top 3 because, man, I did not like your chili growing up.
What?
Oh, dude, you always made it so thick. Nobody wants a thick,
Can't even-
and then you put the crackers in it, and it's like you're eating sand, desert sand. It's so dry.
That's sand.
Dude,
The-
you would make it so thick that it wasn't a chili. Like chili is supposed to be a soup with a liquid.
No. Oh, now you're gonna piss me off.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna make
The
me
way
angry.
that mom makes chili is better.
Shut up.
It is.
It is not.
When Christopher, you know as
Oh,
well as I do,
Listen,
whenever you made goulash and whenever you made chili, there was never enough sauce.
okay,
It
first
was
of all,
always too thick. And then on the chili, you would crumple more. You would crumple crackers in it. And then it would just like you could make meatloaf out of the chili.
okay, all right, let's back up because now you're just being ridiculous. The whole concept of chili and like cook-offs is if you can put a spoon in it and it sticks straight up, that's high quality chili. That's good stuff. Thick chili is the way to go.
No.
Otherwise, it's just watery bean soup.
Okay. White chicken chili is the best chili on the face
That's
of
not
the
the
earth.
same. That's not the same.
Yes,
kind.
it is. It's chili. It has
Joel,
a protein.
help me out here.
It has a
Joel.
protein and it has beans. It's chili. It's got protein. It's got beans. It's a freaking chili. The name is called white chicken chili.
Okay, I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying.
But you said it's not chili, but it is.
There we go. Denny's right. Chili is not soup. You should be able to eat it with a cracker.
Yeah, if you want to.
You should be able to
You wanna-
scoop it with a
Yeah,
cracker.
yeah. If you want your mouth to feel like the inside of a
Well,
desert.
Joel's wrong. Well, Joel's
Yeah,
wrong.
Joel. Yeah, no thick chili. I want to enjoy my chili, not feel like I have to scrape it down because it's so dry.
It's not dry.
Yes, it is.
I mean,
when
when
it's
you-
that thick, it's dry, and then you mash up all those crackers in it. Only way to make it halfway decent is put a half a carton of sour cream in it.
We're gonna look it up, right? Thick and hearty. Ultimately, is up to the individual. Crumble cornbread in it. Now, see, I can get on board with that, Joel. I can get on board with some crumble and a cornbread.
I don't think we've ever made cornbread with chili. Maybe one time. Mom
Grandpa
made
used
it.
to.
Yeah,
Grandpa
but
Grandpa used to eat chili and peanut butter and butter sandwiches. with it.
Chili and cinnamon rolls, game changer.
No.
Yeah. You
No.
know what? It's such a common thing that in high school, when they served us chili, it was also cinnamon rolls. Our side was a cinnamon roll. Our side was a cinnamon roll. Listen to the American.
Our side
lunch
was a
system.
chili roll.
You got
So have
served
you
a
ever-
cinnamon roll with your chili. Look it
Have you
up.
ever
It's a thing.
have you ever seen this before? You ever seen this version of chili? I don't know that I would eat this. It is called Cincinnati chili. Have you seen this
Ew,
on top of
noodles?
spaghetti? Yeah,
No, that's fucking pasta. That's pasta.
it's Cincinnati chili. You make
No, it's
spaghetti noodles.
Disgusting. That's disgusting. That's
yeah.
disgusting.
I'm not on now. Chili mac. I'd eat chili mac.
But chili is chili, right? Oh my goodness, my neighbors are moving around. It sounds like they're right in my kitchen. I had to do a double take. Like, hello? Chili should just be enjoyed as chili with a little side. Cornbread, cinnamon roll, sandwich if you like, crackers. I want to be able to put sour cream and cheese on it and some chives. It's perfect bowl of chili. But it
Jackie
moves.
says Fritos. I
Fritos
would
is
eat
also
Fritos
good.
in there.
But I'm
Yeah.
saying I want my chili to move like a liquid, not like a jello.
No.
Or a
They
meatloaf.
literally used to have a commercial on TV for this chili that you would make it and you could just stick your fork in it and then it would stick straight up. You would eat chili with a fork. That's how good it was.
Yeah, just like meatloaf out of a can, huh? That sounds appetizing.
All right.
Yes. Anyway, you're number 2.
It's not so much. I don't so much like it now,
Mhm.
but I enjoyed it when you guys were kids, and that was Halloween.
Yeah.
I personally hate it now,
Why
and
do you hate it?
I
What's the hate?
because I don't
You don't have
because
kids.
now I have to go. I like dress up. I don't want to dress up. I don't want to buy a costume.
Okay, but you never did when I was a kid, so you're like making up for lost time now.
I know, right? Also, I am anti joke telling at Halloween.
Oh my gosh, me too. My social anxiety
Oh,
hated it.
God.
Hated it. It's so dumb. And you know what? The Midwest is the only people who do that.
Yeah, I know.
It's
I
unheard
know.
of in other states out anywhere else. They're like, you make the poor kids tell you a joke?
No way. Just take it. I don't want to hit. Mom and I will fight over it in the driveway when we're sitting out there handing out candy. We
No,
will fight it.
if a kid comes up and wants to volunteer a joke,
No.
sure, but I'm not going
No.
to be like here. If a kid has prepared a joke and they want to tell a joke and they tell me a joke, fine. And I didn't like ask for it or say anything. Like if I hand them a piece of candy and they tell me their joke, fine. But I'm not going to be like, tell me your joke or you don't
Nope.
get any candy.
Yeah. See, there's a few stories here. We can dive in pretty deep here.
Yeah.
The time that Jeff Weeks came over to my house to hand out candy when Vicky and your mom took you kids out, and he demanded that every kid tell a joke, and I would get so pissed at the door. I was like, Jeff, just give him the fucking candy. I don't want to hear this. It would drive me nuts. I don't want to hear the same joke. They're not funny. I don't want to feign laughing. It's dumb. I don't want to hear it. I don't. It's terrible. I hate it.
It was
Also-
like I think
also-
last
Melvin used to check candy, and somehow, miraculously, every fucking Butterfinger in the bag was suspect and needed to be confiscated.
wait, so you had to check candy when you were a kid too?
Yeah, that's when it started.
Really?
Oh yeah, that's when it
No,
started.
I
Was
thought it
was-
like when
when I was a kid. Well, first of all, we didn't have these stupid ass little buckets. We took a whole fucking pillowcase.
Also, let's be real. Let's just get this out right now. Nobody's giving drugs to your kid. Like that's
Nobody's dropping
expensive.
fentanyl
Nobody's giving
your
like
kid.
ecstasy or Molly in your kid's candy. That stuff is expensive. We're talking
Right.
about like sharps that people may put in there.
See, Carol, she knows pillowcase, man. You just took a pillowcase.
You don't have the fancy pumpkin
No,
bucket.
no, and you didn't and you didn't just go for like an hour. You went all night long, and you got the full size candy bars. Like your pillowcase was the candy. I'd get so much candy it would last until Thanksgiving.
That doesn't seem like that long.
I don't know what to tell you, Jackie. I was the only kid at that time, so I got all the candy. So but it did. You'd get to Thanksgiving,
Wait.
and I'd still have Halloween candy in my room.
Here's a great question, and Jackie can comment too. Did you guys like buy costumes or make costumes? And like,
Oh,
do you
no.
remember? Do you remember
Buy
anything
costumes.
you? Do you
Buy
remember
costumes.
anything
What
that
are you,
you
an
went
idiot?
as?
Do you not know this family? Buy costumes. This is no joke. I went as a pirate 4 years in a row because I'd have a pair of pants that would fit me around the waist, but were too short. So mom would just cut the bottoms and shred the bottoms to make it look like a pirate pants. And then I would wear a white shirt, and I might get an eye patch that she made. That was legit the costume I had 4 years in a row.
That's sick.
The one time I got to go with something else was when I bought my own fake lightsaber, and I bought a cloak, and me and Chris Reeves went as Jedis.
How old were you?
14.
Yeah, that's another good question. Like now, I feel like
I don't know, Jackie. The pirate costume was not fun. I mean, I went 4 years in a row as a pirate.
my like nowadays people think like 11, 12, 13, that kind of age is too old to trick or treat. But when you were a kid, when did you stop going trick or treating?
I was probably 14 was probably my last year.
Like when you went into high school.
Yeah, I was probably well, I turned 14 in December, so I was probably just close to 14. I was 13 probably.
Yeah.
But,
So when you were
yeah.
in 8th grade, probably.
Yeah. Once I got a
Yeah.
driver's permit, I wasn't.
And you know what? I
And then
stopped
I got
dressing
to
up
see
with
the
my.
allure of. I got to see the allure of the other side, where I got to hand out candy, and I quickly realized how stupid that was.
You didn't go into any cool Halloween ragers. In high
No,
school?
and also, since we're on the subject, haunted houses, stupid.
Okay, because that's my number 2 is haunted houses because I love haunted houses. Walker hates them, but he's going. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
You can't
we
make
have to
him go.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
It's the stipulation that we watch at least 2 scary movies a year, and we go to haunted houses because they're fun and you get that
They're
adrenaline.
not
You know what I
fun.
would rather go to though? Let's be real. I would rather go to a haunted corn maze. That stuff is fire. Or the Boy Scouts one. They used to do really good at the Boy Scouts one.
The corn maze one we went to with the boys and you guys when you were little
Yeah.
was pretty funny. That was pretty
there
good.
I think there was an area that like they dug out the ground and
Yeah.
put like a board with a bunch of springs under it and like covered it with dirt. And so you would walk and you would drop like maybe an inch or so, but you like felt like the ground was coming out. And I remember laughing so hard. Like I was like, ah! And then I was like, oh, it's just a little springboard. But I remember they had like done something where they had dug out the ground a little bit. And obviously it's not like, I don't know. It was super funny. And I thought that was the best thing ever. I would love to go to a haunted corn maze though. I think those are really fun.
I would maybe do that. I've heard Joel Lynn's Supermarket. I heard that was like some kind of weird haunted house over on the east side or something. I've heard that's it's not there anymore. I don't think, Joel. Is it?
Lynn's Supermarket. Are you sure that's not the Velisca house? Yeah, I've wanted to see that.
Nope, I'll pass on that deal too. Why would I pay money to be scared? That's stupid. I don't want to watch scary movies. I don't want to watch any movies having to do with Halloween. Mom made me watch Hocus Pocus 2
That's
last
a
year.
great movie.
It's not good. It's so dumb.
Hey, Lynn's Supermarket is actually on the corner where my school is.
Oh, okay. Is it really?
Yeah, it's on 6th Avenue.
Oh, I had no idea.
I drive by it every day. So
So the only thing that I really like about Halloween, and then we'll move on to my number one,
Mhm.
is when we were looking for a house here, we were going to buy a house here in Norwalk, and I think you were too old. I think you were too old to. Well, how old were you?
Well,
Yeah. No,
I
you
kinda-
trick-or-treated when you came here. I don't know why
I
you.
didn't trick or treat. I dressed up in costumes and hung
That's
out with
right.
my friends at Don and
That's right.
Chuck's house. And then
Yeah,
we came over to our house.
But I think you were at your mom's or something. Anyways, we went to we brought the boys out here and we parked in this neighborhood and walked around, and people were sitting out in their driveways with like their fire pits, and they were neighborhood little parties. And this one,
Oh yeah,
we went
some
down-
houses would hand out a beer.
Yeah, no, they would give you. They were drinking beer out there.
Yeah.
And I remember the first year we did it, we had a fire pit in the driveway. I had some beers. We were handing out candy. And I was like, nothing says Halloween like an open flame and some flammable costumes like this. This seems like a bad idea. But the year that Tim moved in, and we had a screen set up when we were watching Monday Night Football because it was on that night. And he was handing out beers to people. And I was like, Tim, I don't know that that's a super great idea. That seems like a liability. But I mean, we did it. It was
No,
fun.
actually, there are other houses I've heard at where parents stop by and they'll hand out a beer to a parent, and
Yeah,
if they want, or so it's like parents trick or treating.
right. There you go.
So,
All right, what's your number
all right.
one?
No, your number one, or was that your number one?
That was my number one. Yep. Or
my
no,
number
I'm
one.
sorry. That was not my number one. My number one would be probably family gatherings, because you start to get together for Thanksgiving, which is my favorite holiday. We've talked about that.
Yeah,
my
we'll
favorite
get
holiday-
into that closer to Thanksgiving. We'll
because we're
unpack
gonna
that
rank the
later.
holidays and we'll have that whole
Yeah.
argument again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because go ahead.
That's gonna sound more sentimental than my number one. My number one is Crock-Pot season. I love Crock-Pot season.
We made
When
two
it's like
Crock-Pot meals last week.
what?
We made 2 Crock-Pot meals last week.
It's to that point now where it's like that weather where I want stuff out of a crock pot, soups and roast and whatever. Like it's been too hot to like, and crock pots I love because it's so easy. It's already done for me when I get home. It's like in the summer I have to come home and think what I want to make for dinner, but in the fall and the winter it's like I don't have to think. I just throw things into this. I throw frozen things into this pot, set it and forget it, and I come home and it's done unless you forget to press the button, which has happened to me once. And I was really disappointed when I walked into my college apartment and I was like, why doesn't it smell like barbecue chicken?
What is your favorite Crock-Pot meal?
Oh my gosh. My favorite, and I don't make it very often, is chicken bacon ranch.
Okay. Well, that's what we had this week.
Oh,
We had leftover rotisserie. I sent it to you and asked you to come for dinner, and you said no because Walker was making dinner at his parents' house.
that's right. Yeah, I was,
So
dude, I
I'm
had a
surprised
mental
you didn't
breakdown
say
that
what
day.
Jenny just commented Italian beef.
Oh, yes, that. Yes. It's so
Mom.
hard. I just love crock pots.
I know.
I
We had
love
chicken
a
bacon
crock pot
ranch.
meal.
So we had a rotisserie chicken from Costco, and we pulled it all apart, and I left. And so I made chicken bacon ranch out of that over some sour cream and chive potatoes.
Mm.
It was we like that one so much we had it for Christmas one year.
Yeah, we did. We had it for Christmas 2020 when we couldn't go see anyone. And we made it. And no, we had it for Thanksgiving 2020 too.
Yes.
We didn't have it Christmas 2020. We had it Thanksgiving 2020 because we replaced the chicken with turkey because we knew our whole family wasn't going to be able to eat a turkey.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, we love chicken bacon ranch. I just love crock pots. They're easy. They're so homey and just make you feel so good. And
okay, so
there's
here's
so many
the
good
challenge.
recipes.
All right, here's the challenge.
Okay.
Before next episode, we both have to try a brand new crock pot meal and give our reviews.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's put parameters on this.
It has
Let's
to have
make it. It has to have cream cheese.
No.
Yes. But it also has to be marketed as healthy or like, you know what I mean? Like
No.
we don't want to just put it. No, we're not going to do that. It has to have cream cheese and it has to have another type of cheese.
No.
Yes.
Just a straight. Let's pick we each pick a crock pot recipe that we have not tried before, we've not had before, and then we have to give our review.
Okay.
Okay. And if any
No
of the listeners
parameter.
want to do that
Okay.
and chime in 2 weeks, then we'll build a little Three Beards Media crock pot recipe book.
Crock pot recipe book. A collection of crock pot recipes.
Right? That's right.
Love.
Okay, we're going to take another break from Kyle Lehman at Wintrust Mortgage. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about not a serious topic, but a topic that you and I talked about earlier this week. That even you kind of suffer from, and I do as well. So let's get a quick word from Kyle at Wintrust Mortgage.
Are you in the market for a new house and unsure of the mortgage process? Want to know that you have someone looking out for you? Kyle Lehman from Wintrust Mortgage is a down-to-earth, knowledgeable lender who can be there for you in your corner. He can work with you in any of the 50 states and is just what you need to expand your home search. Kyle will work with you through the entire process with little to no work from you. Take the worry of the mortgage process out of the equation so that you can focus on looking for your dream home. Contact Kyle at www.wintrust.com/Kyle-Lehman or call him at 515-473-0546.
All right, we're back. I never noticed before how much the logo on Like Father, Like Daughter looks like Kyle Lehman.
Well,
Okay.
my hair never looks as good as the logo there.
I know, right?
so-
I know. That's an awful young-looking Chris Shipley there in that logo. Okay, so we had and we won't dive into the specifics of the phone call, but we have had a couple conversations about this, and we thought since it's Sunday, we would have a
Let's
quick
talk about
conversation
it.
about it.
I wish I
what
had a
you
cool
call-
graphic. The Sunday
know, right?
Scaries.
The Sunday Scaries.
The Sunday
what
Scaries.
I like to call the Monday Dread, kind of the same thing. And basically what it is you get to the weekend and so on, and you just kind of have that dread, not because you don't like your job or because
Right.
you don't like what you're doing or whatever. It's just a matter of, I don't know. I don't think I necessarily had it before the pandemic. And for me, I guess speaking just for me, maybe it's more because I've had such upheaval in my career in the last 3 years, working for BH and really loving that job. I've thought a lot about this. I love that job. I love the people I worked with. I love the culture. And then things started to change. And then I took
With
that
the
job
pandemic.
at Mercer, and then that job got sold. And then I think the Sunday Scaries and the what I like to call imposter syndrome as well really came to fruition when I was working at Light Edge, because I felt completely isolated working there. Nobody that worked there felt like they were my friend. Not that they weren't friendly, but I didn't feel like I had the trust and the confidence of people working there. And I constantly felt behind the 8 ball, and I felt like I was fooling myself that I wasn't qualified to be there. And then when I lost that job and they fired me, that really put a number on me. So I think it's gotten worse because of that, because you just have the sometimes you're like, am I going through the motions? Am I really good at what I'm doing here? And you start to question yourself. And then I think it's worse on Sundays because you don't know what you got in store for you when you go in there on Monday, and it's kind of new. I mean, once you get there and you're working and things are fine, but
Yeah,
I think that's where that comes from for me.
I describe the Sunday Scaries for myself as it goes back to what you said. It's not that I love my job and I love what I do and I wouldn't change it. But instead of enjoying the day that I'm given on a Sunday, I'm instead thinking, in 12 hours, I'm going to have to be up and go back to work and get back in the grind and kind of get back in my routine. It's kind of like I get a little bit out of routine on the weekends, which I think you totally should, right? Like those are your 2 free days that you get to just be able to enjoy and do the things that you need to get done, that you want to get done, that and you're like, finally I have some time to do the things I never get time to do. And then Sunday comes and you're like, I still didn't get to all the things that I never have time to do. And now I'm going into another week where I'm super packed, super busy. I come home after work. I'm super tired to do anything else. I barely am able to make dinner for myself.
Right.
It's so I know like what's coming for me this week and how exhausted and tired I am. And lately, whenever somebody asks me, how's your year going? Like, how are you? My answer is always, I'm tired, because I just feel like there's never enough time in my week. There's never enough time in my weekend to be able to do all the things that can meet my needs, which has been a part of a bigger discussion for my next summer and my breaks, deciding what ways can I still make a little bit of extra cash during those breaks and still make a little bit of extra money during those breaks without wearing myself thin by teaching summer school, dog sitting, babysitting, nannying, all those things that I was doing this summer that I enjoyed and I loved, and it was great experiences, and I got to work with lots of great people and work with some great kids. But at the end of the day, I come to my normal job and I'm 4 weeks in and I'm exhausted. And it's never, and it feels like it's never ending. And so my Sunday Scaries is like, gosh darn it, I'm going into another week feeling like I'm still three steps behind where I need to be. And I feel like that feeling for me never goes away on Sundays. And it's really hard. And I've struggled with that my entire life, college, high school, that feeling of like, more when I was a kid, it was like, the weekend's over. I have to go back to school. But as I've gone like late in my high school years and college, especially, it's like, gosh, I got to go back to class. My grind's going to start again. No more fun, no more me time, really. Yeah. So
I think you're right on it as far as, because I think it goes into what we were talking about, what we've talked about. And I go back to COVID. I think that has changed people's perspective a lot. When I hear people say things like people don't want to work anymore, that just drives me crazy. I think people don't, it's not that people don't want to work. I think people now acknowledge and see how important a good work-life balance should be. Now that does not mean that people should not be going to work when they're supposed to go to work, and they shouldn't be. Right. But I think so much of it was, why am I working my ass off all week? And then the only time that I have for my family and for me and for my passions and things like that are during the weekend. And you try to pack that stuff into the weekend so much, or into the evenings. And if you're a young you're a young person and you have a family and you have sports and things like that, you don't have a lot of time to yourself as well. I just think that the work-life balance is so out of whack now that maybe we're overcorrecting a little bit, right? I think there's a good healthy medium. I mean, I look back 6 years ago, and the anniversary of me finding out that I had cancer is in 3 days from 6 years ago. And I look back at that now and think I went through chemo and radiation. I never missed a day of work. I went to work every day, and I prided myself on that. And it made me feel tough, and it made me feel like I wasn't giving in to cancer and things like that. And I don't know that I would be any different now, but I do look back at that and think, was that really what was best for me and my family?
Well, and I think there's also this, you don't want to be stigmatized, in a sense of, there's something to be said about what you said, having pride, and you should feel proud that you were able to do that. But looking back, nobody would have blamed you, and it maybe would have felt like a bigger deal in your head to take a day off every once in a while you were going through that. But in reality, everybody around you would have supported that and supported you. At the same time, I feel like you and I have a tendency to make things feel bigger in our head than it actually is once we get it. It's no different than me. I hate calling in sick to my work. First of all, I don't want to make plans. Like, I don't, like, I already have plans made. And I don't want that to fall on my team. So that usually means if I wake up feeling sick that I can't go into work, I'm working super early in the morning to get plans sent. I'm giving my team direct things to print off for me, or exact instructions on where things are and how to set them out for me. And I'm always super appreciative. But it's like, now I'm spending, it almost feels like it's easier for me to go into work when I'm feeling a little run down, when I'm feeling a little sick, than it is to stay home. And I saw a TikTok about that the other day, where there are other teachers and other people who are like, I would rather go into work not feeling 100% than get up super early in the morning, make plans, and be home worrying all day. Like, did I make plans that were good enough? Are my kids being great? Like, that to me is sometimes more stressful than just being able to be home and relax and take a sick day. And it's that feeling of like, it's better if I'm just there, even though in reality it's not. So it's something I'm also working on too. I think it all goes back to how that work-life balance and how we take care of ourselves, which is why I get to work earlier. I get there about anywhere from 45 minutes to a half hour earlier than our contract time, because I don't want to be there till 4:00 at night.
Right.
Unless I'm being paid for it. So I don't want to have to be at work till 4 or 5. And some teachers, that works great for them. And some of my coworkers, that works really great for them. And it works for their family, and they're not there every night that late.
Right.
But for me, that when the end of the day hits, I'm so exhausted. I can't even think about being at work longer, trying to get things done that I couldn't fit into my day. We're not given enough. Again, it's that feeling of like, I feel like I don't have enough time to get everything I need to get done. And so it's this constant battle of working. And I'm sure anyone in any career can feel that way. I don't know that there's a lot of people leaving work at the end of the day being like, I feel like I accomplished everything I wanted to get done today, and I have no agenda for tomorrow until I get there. Like, I feel like I always have an agenda to go through whenever I get to work from the day before that I'm playing catch up.
Yeah. I want to play this because it fits into what we're talking about, and we got to hop out of here pretty quick here. But
yeah,
when we talk about Sunday scaries and we talk about work-life balance and whatever, and again, I stress that I go to work every day. I have stressed to my kids that having a stable job and going to work every day and working hard for your employer needs to be done. But there also is an underlying fact that they will take advantage of you when they can. And I want to play this. This is Tim Gurner. He's founder and CEO of the Gurner Group. And he talks about workers and how their work-life balance is now and what he would like to see be done to fix it. And you will be shocked at what he says.
I think the problem that we've had is that we have people decided they didn't really want to work so much anymore through COVID, and that has had a massive issue on productivity. Tradies have definitely pulled back on productivity. They have been paid a lot to do not too much in the last few years, and we need to see that change. We need to see unemployment rise. Unemployment has to jump 40, 50%, in my view. We need to see pain in the economy. We need to remind people that they work for the employer, not the other way around. I mean, there's been a systematic change where employees feel the employer is extremely lucky to have them, as opposed to the other way around. So it's a dynamic that has to change. We've got to kill that attitude, and that has to come through hurting the economy, which is what the whole global, the world is trying to do.
Okay.
So his whole point is that we as a workforce need to feel the pain to realize how lucky we are that we can work for them.
Right.
That's the kind of stuff that people are sick of.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
The kind of stuff that people are sick of. Whether it's somebody that works at a high-end corporate job who is expected to work to 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night because you're on salary, to the guys that are working at McDonald's and make minimum wage, and they got to take everybody's abuse because the ice cream machine doesn't work, and you're bitching and moaning to them. They don't make enough money to listen to your bitching and moaning.
Yeah.
And if that's the attitude, they wonder why people are so angry right now. And people don't want to work for peanuts and be treated like shit.
Right.
So
no, I think instead of people saying people just don't want to work, it should be people don't want to work for people who don't appreciate them. And I feel lucky and blessed enough that I have amazing admin at my school who they are so appreciative of us. Right. So, which may not be always the case in what I hear in other districts or other states. I mean, it's sad that it is something to be joyfully surprised at instead of something that is expected. I would hope that employers want to make their employees feel appreciated, because without them, we run into these issues that we can't find, short-staffed. I mean, absolutely. Agreed. So,
all right, we're going to wrap it up here because I got Big Brother to watch. I got to watch Big Brother.
That's why you needed to do this at 6:30.
Yes, so that it would be over by 7:30, so I could still watch Big Brother and then still be able to watch the majority of the football game tonight. So,
Okay.
and spend time with my wife because she likes me.
Oh.
Okay, we have a big week here at Three Beards Media. We have that huge fundraiser that's going on, and I need to be sure to show this because it's important. We are selling the Not Lady Sports t-shirts for women's equality, and people have asked why we're selling these shirts, and I thought it would be best to let the people that brought it up on their podcast explain it. So this is a clip from Steph Copley's appearance on Hot Mess Happy Hour. This is why we're selling these shirts.
Someone said, I get it if the name is genderized, like the Cowboys, the Cowgirls. Like DCG has the Phillies and the Mustangs. Like I can kind of get that. I think you should probably just change your mascot at that point, but whatever. But here, there's no reason for it. There is no reason for it except to suggest that the women are less than. And frankly, like if you don't understand that, you're part of the problem. And I'm just like, I'm done. And it's conversations like these that in the past I would have been like, like whatever, it's a small thing. No, it's not a small thing. Let's talk about it. And I'm sorry if you don't like it. If you don't like hearing me talk about it, don't listen or don't follow me or whatever. I'm just done not saying the things anymore. I am committed to saying all the damn things and like, sorry. But I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry.
You're not sorry. No.
I think she put it perfectly.
She did.
Absolutely.
Yep. So we are the proceeds for that shirt are going to We Will and the Herkies Club. You can go to Three Beards Media, all of my social media. The links are all over the place to order a shirt. The proceeds of that for going for that. We've got tomorrow night, Side of the Storm's reaction to Matt Campbell's blow up after the game at Ohio. We have Old Man Strength on Tuesday. We are interviewing former Iowa State running back who was the running back when I was a freshman in college, Blaze Bryant. I'm super excited for that. Ball Don't Lie on Thursday, Hawk's Eye View on Thursday. We are really rolling with the podcast here, and then we start it all again next weekend. So, Caitlin, do you have anything to add before we get off here?
Nope.
Okay. New crockpot recipe due next in 2 weeks. Thanks to everybody that listens and gives us a follow. If you download and listen to the audio, give us a rating and a review. That certainly helps us as well. And with that, we are out of here.